Can you even stand on your own anymore? You've been shoved in that corner so long. No, I think the cardboard's going in the back. Poor Tom. I know there's really no good way for me to I know this sounds bad. Actually, I know this looks bad. It doesn't sound like much at all at the moment, but I know it looks bad. But I can explain. There is a perfectly valid reason for me to own this. For the memes. It was for the memes. Let me backtrack. In the year of our Lord, 2019, I was a junior. And I knew I wasn't going to prom with a date for a very long time. Tragedy truly struck in January, I believe, when I found out that the guy that I was like not really seeing, but like kind of seeing, like we went on one date, but turns out he had a girlfriend like the whole time. And then he told me I was the kind of girl he wanted to marry, not the kind of girl he wants to date. And I still don't know what that means. Anyway, so I was like, well, I don't have any guy friends that either weren't gonna be taken by one of my girlfriends, or I felt comfortable going with, or were single. So, what do? And one day at lunch, I flippantly said, and this is where my father says I went wrong, because he's like, you shouldn't have said anything, you should have just let it rest and be an idea in your brain and then surprise everyone. But the thing is that I speak before, like this is not always caught up to this. And it's a flaw. I'm not saying it is not a flaw. It is a flaw that I've had to work on for years. So I'm at lunch and I'm like, what if I just took a life-size cardboard cutout of either Tom Holland or Sebastian Stan? Because those were my two like big celebrity crushes at the time. Probably more Tom Holland at the time than Sebastian Stan. Sebastian Stan is like now. Sebastian Stan is eternal. Sebastian Stan is the man I will never get over. Tom Holland, I'm like, I still love him as an actor and as a performer, and I'm jealous of his fouette turns, but like, I shipped him and Zendaya before it was cool to ship him and Zendaya, okay? And now I'm an adult and I'm like, okay, shipping real people isn't cool, but I was a child at the time, okay? Let me live. This isn't Tom Holland. You need to realize that this is Tom. We refer to him as Tom. He's Tom the cardboard cutout, and he has his own personality, and stop dying. He likes to scare people. When people walk by my room and are like, there's a person just standing there. So I just opened my mouth and I'm like, what if I got a cardboard cutout? I don't even know if I mentioned Tom Holland or Sebastian Stan. I might have even just said, what if I brought a cardboard cutout of a celebrity to prom? And my friends were like, that'd be funny, but no. And I was like, bet. So I go home and I'm like, I should take a cardboard cutout to prom. And then I'm like, no, you know what? I will take a cardboard cutout to prom. I'm gonna take Tom Holland to prom. And my parents were just kind of like, yeah, that's kind of funny. So my mom helped me pay for it. She thought it was funny to help me pay for it. That'll be important later. I don't think I even bought it yet. I think I went to school and was like, guys, I know who I'm taking to prom. A life-size cardboard cutout of Tom Holland. And they were like, sounds about right for you. And so, sorry, Tom, I keep elbowing you. So eventually time passes and my mother helps me pay for it because she's like, you're a broke high schooler. Also, this will be really funny. And she helps me buy it. I'm not gonna say how much it costs. It doesn't cost as much as it does now. Hold on, my boss is texting me. Cut that out, cut this out. Where was I? I bought the thing. I'm not gonna say how much it cost. But it cost a little more than a prom ticket did. You also gotta, if you look it up now, I will say inflation has hit it. So it is more expensive to buy it now than it was back in 2019. So I bought him, it was a little more than a prom ticket, and I told my friends that I bought him, and somehow, you know, someone overheard me talking about this, and somehow this turned into, I bought him a prom ticket like an insane person. So then the rumor was Katie bought a prom ticket for a cardboard cutout of Tom Holland, and she's crazy, and it became like the talk of the school. I don't know why. Like, to this day, I am baffled. Like, do you guys not have anything better in your lives that, like, this beautiful piece of cardboard is, like, the pinnacle of drama? Like, look at him. He ain't doing much. He just vibing. He just... You're really not doing too hot. He's just here for the vibes. For context, I'm gonna leave some of this out because I don't want to expose my own traumas, but let's just say that when I was a freshman, this one guy got to go to prom, and it pissed off a lot of the girls because he wasn't very nice. Let's just leave it at that. And I didn't know him, but I remember the girls complaining about it. So on my private story, I posted a picture of Tom because a lot of people were mad at me that I was gonna be bringing this to prom. And so on my private Snapchat story, I took a picture of Tom, and I was like, I can't believe they would let a guy like that go to prom. I didn't say his name, but I said a guy like that, but not Tom, the cardboard cutout. He's literally a piece of cardboard. Look at him, he's not hurting anyone. Said something along those lines. Here's where the trouble started. I had a guy who was not very nice to me. Principals were involved. It was a whole thing. And he got suspended for a singular day. Woo! And that was like a year ago. So it's been a year, and we just like avoid each other. He did start a rumor that I was a lesbian at one point, and 4 people went to the principal. Like, what was he gonna do? Break out into the tap dance from Book of Mormon, like, turn it off, like the light switch, just go click. I still don't understand. I don't understand. Actually, no, I don't know if it was 4 people who went to the principal about the lesbian thing, but I do know it was multiple people. 4 people go to the principal over the cardboard cutout. And I'm getting there. So my friend shows this private Snapchat photo to the guy who wasn't very nice to me because it was the only picture she had of the cardboard cutout. And he was, of course, asking about it because everyone was talking about it. Like, don't you people have lives? Again, it was just for the memes. It was for the memes. So she shows it to him. And he thinks, and this is the biggest self-report of his life, he thinks it's about him. He's like, they let a guy who is not very nice go to prom. She must be talking about me. And I'm like, no. So he comes up to me in Spanish class. I have a vivid memory of this. We're like turning in our homework, and he's like, you know that post you made about me on Snapchat? And I was like, no. And he's like, yeah, you do. I saw it. You need to take it down. And I was like, you mean the thing on my private story? That wasn't about you. And he's like, well, who else could have been it about? And I was like, you know, you're not the only jerk I know in the universe. Right? And he was like, this is when the 4 people come in. 4 people went to the principal to say I was bullying him. Again, I would like to reiterate, this was on a private story that had like 14 people, and I wasn't even talking about him. 4 people! So then, of course, I get called down. So I didn't even go to the principal's office. I think he went to the school counselor and was like, you deal with it. Actually, you know what happened first? He didn't even call the school counselor down first. I get this email from the art teacher, who I'd never had because I avoided art like the plague. She calls me down to the office, and this is all happening at the same time as like the Snapchat thing happened, and then I'm getting called down to the office that same day. And she basically told me if I tried to bring the cardboard cutout to prom, I would not be allowed in. Because I was making a joke out of prom. She was like, it's a nice venue. I almost had my wedding there. You know, you're turning prom into a joke, and prom's like really important to people. Like, fights would break out every year at my school over, like, where people sat. Like, it's okay. It's one night. And, like, yeah, it was fun, but it's, like, one night. And, yeah, it was fun, but she basically was like, yeah, no, if you try and bring a cardboard cutout to prom, you're getting kicked out. It's a piece of cardboard, man. Why am I in the office over a piece of cardboard, man? And it doesn't even say anything offensive on it. Like, anyway, so I also get called down to the school counselor in a few days because, again, it takes a little bit for people to accuse me of bullying. And I go to her office and she's like, so you're not in trouble, but, you know, I'm here to talk to you about, like, what's been said. Anyway, she gave me a high five because she was like, by the way, I think this is really funny and I think you should be allowed to take them. And I was like, thank you. She was also like, and I'll talk to the principal about how men who aren't so nice, you know, it affects girls for longer than he realizes. And I'm like, I think it affects anyone. Like, no one wants to get bullied. Like, let's not say it doesn't affect men either. Like, come on, ma'am. Eventually she was like, this is all kind of stupid because you seem fine mentally and you didn't actually do anything that's not allowed. And my dad was mad. My dad was pissed because he was like, what about freedom of speech? She didn't name names. She's allowed to say what she wants. My mother was like, calm down. So I did end up taking him to my friend's house before prom and taking a bunch of pictures with him. I did joke at one point, I was like, I have a big poofy dress. I could fold him up and hide him in the skirt and bring him in. But I don't want to get kicked out because, you know, I did care about prom. I don't want to say prom isn't important because it is a lot of fun. If you don't take it too seriously, if you're not like, this is the one night, this is the most important night of my life. It's a time. It's fun. The food was okay. It's a dance. It's a dance where you get to wear longer dresses. The end. Yeah, that's the story about how a cardboard cutout of Tom Holland almost got me kicked out of prom. So now I'm gonna read you the DMs that I wrote Tom Holland that obviously can't get sent because I'm pretty sure he has messages turned off, but if he ever turns them on for a day, he will receive them. So I don't know if this is cute or creepy. It's creepy. Or if you'll ever see this, but, and then I posted the pictures of me and my friends surrounding a cardboard cutout of Tom Holland in all of our prom outfits. I didn't have a date to prom, so as a joke, I bought a cardboard cutout, but then teachers found out and they banned it. So take this information how you will. Then me and a friend figured out that Snapchat face filters worked on the face, and so we sent him a bunch of those. And then I said, update on the cardboard cutout. My friend and I realized that Snapchat recognizes it as a face. Also, it keeps my curtain from getting sucked into the AC. So he sat in a corner for a while with, like, my curtain wrapped around his neck to keep it away from the AC. As you do. And I sent a video, but you know when you send a video on Instagram and you can't then see the video? I have no idea what I said, but I was an adult at that point, so hopefully it wasn't too unhinged. All right, then we've got, I don't know if you can see this, but now we've got a wall of text. And I said, it's been over a year since the last update in the adventures of Tom, the cardboard cutout. Face filter obviously still works. My crazy grandmother, and I'm not saying that to be mean, so I say crazy with love. Crazy grandmother, who thinks someone's trying to kill her, got my bedroom for a while I was at college. And for some odd reason, she just left it standing. Like, nobody thought maybe we should take the scary cardboard cutout out of the room where somebody thinks that someone's following her. Like, fold him out. He's foldable. Put him in the closet. Anyways, she just left it standing, and then one day she decided it should be thrown out. My mother managed to convince her not to, so he lives to stand another day. Oh, sorry, he stands to live another day. He's not really standing anymore, as you can see. As you can see. Apparently no one thought to just move it. Anyway, that's all. Hope you never see this. Tee-hee-hee. I'm so quirky and unique. And then I replied to his story once. Oh, because he was playing Grow As We Go by Ben Platt on the guitar, and I was like, oh! So I just said that was really good. But again, I'm like pretty sure his messages turned off on Instagram. So like, what was I thinking? Apparently I sent him a photo on May 10th, 2022. Can't see it though. Who knows what I said? So yeah, I have basically made a vow that I'm not going to my 10-year reunion unless I can get the real Tom Holland to go with me. And everyone's always like, well, what about Zendaya? She probably doesn't want you taking her boyfriend to her 10-year reunion. And I'm like, Zendaya's Gen Z. If I look Zendaya in the eye and say, girl, it's for the memes, and you can come too if you want. I have 2 arms. Like, you want both take me to my 10-year reunion? So yeah, I basically am like, unless I can get the real Tom Holland to take me to my 10-year high school reunion, I'm just not gonna go. Because then what's the point? Then what was this all for? But yeah, I feel like I can't throw him out because the story is just too funny. Like, and so convoluted and so much drama. And for what? The world's still turning. Somehow. Like, I don't know. Maybe I am in the wrong. Please tell me if somebody brought a cardboard cutout to Tom Holland, would it ruin your prom? Like, legitimately, I need to know. Cause like, for me, I'm like, well, the pandemic ruined my prom. This guy did nothing, you know? Well, it ruined my senior prom. Junior prom still happened, but, you know, like, world-ending events? Yeah, that'll make prom sucky. A piece of cardboard? What did he do to you? What did he do to you? Anyways, I'm gonna leave this episode here before I break him. Stop it. I'm gonna leave this episode here before I break him. Oh, as always, please leave a like and subscribe and maybe turn that notification bell on so that my viewership is more consistent and all that YouTuber stuff. If you liked this video, feel free to share it. However, if you didn't like this video, I am begging you, please send it to your enemies. They will be so confused. And as always, this has been Katie Wren, joined by Tom, the cardboard cutout. And I'll see you very soon. Who knows if he'll ever make an appearance again. Bye-bye.